Coming up on today's episode of the Video Marketing Toolkit.
One of the most embarrassing things that I've had as a salesperson.
To work effectively as a team, right, you need a bit of flexibility from everyone else. You need to, I guess, have that trust.
I would say anybody that likes doing cold calling has got something wrong with them.
I was about to say, cold calling is actually, it sparks something. It's an interesting topic because I've never had that scary subject.
You can't be in a sales role without being confident of asking for somebody's business.
Hello guys, welcome to the Video Marketing Toolkit, the podcast where we speak to business owners and industry experts about their lives, and we find tangible facts and hints and tips to give to you guys that you can go home and use in your own business. My name is Dan, I'm the founder of Video Formula. We help businesses out with video, we get them in front of the camera for the first time, and we help the businesses use the video in the best way possible so they can achieve their goals.
Produced by Video Formula.
Today with me, I have the OG of sales. He's worked in sales teams in the retail industry, marketing agencies, recruitment agencies, risen through the ranks from working on the shop floor to heading up a sales function, and now he's working at an established marketing agency in Northampton, heading up a new sales team. And what was your second name again, sorry?
Cochrane.
Yeah.
You're going to get that bit in here.
I'm going to get that bit in. I'll leave that bit in.
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio, Hugh Cochrane. Woo! How you doing, Hugh?
All right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It was a bit of a ropey intro, that one, wasn't it? So we'll see how much of that gets left in.
I was hoping that you're going to just carry on. I had to put a pillow over my lap for a minute.
Keep saying more. Keep talking about it.
Keep on going.
No, it's great to have you. And I've honestly not seen you in ages. It's been a few years because we've worked together previously, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Along the way. So, no, it's great to have you back in. But for anyone at home who doesn't know who you are, do you want to just introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Hugh. I work for a company called Creative Folks based in Northampton. I head up a sales function there and help businesses grow through fantastic ideas and a great team around me, really. That's
brilliant, and it really sounds exciting stuff. But as you know, on this podcast, we always like to dig deep into what's the person's past like, where did they start, what did their career look like. So where did sales really start for you?
So I when I finished uni, I a lot like other people, I got no fucking clue what to do, and I actually missed the deadline of it's called the PGCE or something like that. I wanted to be a PE teacher.
Oh, okay.
Very good thing I didn't become a PE teacher, I can tell you that. So I went back to Sunny Rugby, and I was working in a pub and in a village, and I know a load of people in the pub, so I was just chatting to a guy he was a sales director of a payroll firm in Birmingham. Said that I'd probably quite enjoy a role in sales. So he got me a job interview with a recruitment business in Northampton, and ended up working there for a few months, which was great. It was sort of chucked in at the deep end, very, very much so.
So like completely green to it, and it's like, here you go.
Completely,
like,
absolutely. I remember, so the guy's name was Graham, who got me the interview, and God rest his soul because he's gone now. But he got me the interview there. And I remember in the pub, he was explaining to me about how recruitment worked, and it was literally on the back of a fag packet. And so,
this is how it goes.
So I've got a lot of thanks to him really for setting me up in a sales function and starting my career off in sales really. He then set up his own business and pinched me from where he'd got me an interview from. Which was great because actually where I was working, he set up a recruitment business and I was his sales bitch, and we did really well. We got some really good contracts, but for one reason or another, my time in recruitment just came to an end really, it was unfortunately a relationship that ended pretty badly. A bit of a regret that I've got, but life is life and business is business, I guess. I went to work for a trailer manufacturer, and then one of their dealers pinched me. So I was their sales and marketing bitch, and then
it sounds like you were sort of being passed around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very much the bone between a bunch of dogs, and then but then sort of figured, well, why don't we try and do this for myself? And so my dad and I opened a business the week after lockdown.
Oh wow! So that was really straight into it.
Fucking real good time, eh? But actually, the first 18 months of it went really well.
Amazing.
And then,
and what just to be a bit more clear, sorry, what was you guys doing in your business? Different to, obviously, this is different to recruitment now. More about engineering and things.
Yeah, so recruitment, we were selling people, and the business was selling trailers. So you know, like if you've got a race car and you need to take it to a track, or horse trailers, you know, things like that.
Yeah. Because I used to work in the automotive industry for a car export company, and they obviously used drivers, and they had to buy their own trailer and things like that, like driving it on the back. Spent countless mornings in the cold backing cars off the back of those trailers.
Mate, it was it's the cold, and then but it's also like, I mean, particularly with the manufacturer, I was working in the logistics side of things as well. So trailers, when they're dispatched all over the world, they stack them up. And,
on the back of
But then it's going out and having to check things and hitch up and help with all these bare metal parts in a freezing cold. And it's awful. Like, cold metal is awful.
No, it's not pleasant. And do you know what, drivers as well, I always find, I don't know if you had much interaction with like drivers and the people that use the trailer, they're such a unique, I feel like, kind of person. Like, some of them can be so funny.
Glad from the recruitment side of things, lorry drivers are always the worst. So a host of terrible decisions, and the industry in general, war in Russia and or war in Ukraine, and
it has a knock-on effect on everything, doesn't it? Really?
Knock-on effect on everything, and Brexit actually did as well, with importing. A lot of our stuff was import, and so it led to the demise of it, which was unfortunate, but it gave me an opportunity to start in a completely different field, which I never thought I'd. Literally, when I applied for my first digital marketing job, and I'd applied for loads of other stuff, and I saw it because it looked like, I thought, okay, that's kind of.
I'll have a piece of that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe have a look at it and see what it is.
Have you ever sort of dabbled in much marketing before, like in the other industries?
I'd done the marketing for myself, the business for the other retailer, and when I worked in recruitment, social media and marketing in general wasn't really a thing. I mean, it was, but very differently. Not so much there, but certainly, you know, like paid ads on socials and Google and stuff when from probably about 2015 onwards, 2016 onwards.
Was that like Cambridge Analytica and stuff like that? When you could, it was a lawless, like, Wild West in Facebook ads, like, and you could do anything.
It was great.
I wish I could have dabbled in it at those times. It definitely sounds interesting. I was speaking to an estate agent on the podcast as well, and he could literally target like people like on a street and just like fire ads at them. Crazy
super.
Times.
But worked for a particular company, which I was there for 18 months. Did all right. Left because there was no progressive opportunity.
Lasted a little bit longer than me then.
Or did you?
I was 12 months.
Were you?
On the dot. I did the year stretch.
12 months on the dot, yeah. I remember when you handed in your notice, because I was trying to. In fact, actually, it was before Christmas in December 2024. I want to say.
2023.
Yeah,
23.
Because we just got that.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and you were working on that during your notice period, I think.
That was like my last sort of project, really. I think. In fact, it might have even been the January after I left, because they were bringing me back for like 2 days a week, just for like as a transitional period.
Yeah.
So it might even be during that, but that was fun. Got to destroy some stuff, blow some stuff up, tear some stuff down.
That was a wicked shoot.
That was fun.
Really cool. And it was such a shame that it never got used.
Yeah, there was some stuff about that, wasn't there? I actually remember hearing that.
Well, because they were part of a PE group, and the PE group, which was really fucking boring, and didn't want to do it.
And do you know what? That's such an example of where a lot of businesses fall down, especially when they start to get, there's layers and layers and layers, because you start to lose personality.
Yeah.
But yet, when it comes to social media, and in most marketing material nowadays, you need that personality to stand out, right?
Yeah,
because
100%.
otherwise, you just blend into this like really beige background, don't
Yeah,
you? Of just
yeah.
like corporate waffle.
Yeah, it's
like,
just vanilla shite.
yeah, literally.
So anyway, I left there, met some really cool people, people that I also thought were genuine, and have turned out to be absolute arseholes. I went to work for another smaller company in rugby. Promised a few things when I joined there, which changed. You know, within a couple of months of joining, it was evident that it was just we'll tell you this during interview, and then it never came to fruition. It was so frustrating. It was the most frustrating place I've ever worked.
Do you find that happens like a lot in like sales position specifically? You kind of promise the world and then
No,
or is it just like a general thing?
no, because to be fair, you know, the promises were made and kept to. It was just, you know, everything else that went with it.
Yeah.
But promised a particular way that we could sell with tools for be able to sell. And me and the head of sales there, called Sam, found it pretty shocking that they changed it. Immediately said, this is never going to work. We're going to have to. It was things that, you know, like honeymoon periods and even just a little bit of flexibility on pricing. And it was so cast in stone and so guinea pig. It was.
So it was like kind of like they'd been like, you can do all this, but then only with like a tiny bit of experimentation, it was immediately rug pulled from you, sort of.
Yeah. One of the most embarrassing things that I've had as a salesperson, I went to a company called. It was literally the quickest pitch. I'd gone through everything with them on a discovery call. I put together a really good strategy just for some particular products that they wanted to try and push through Google Ads. I went down to see them. I spent about 15 minutes going through the pitch deck, and it was like and we got told we had to sell on a 12-month contract.
No, that's minimum. That's just how it is.
That's how it is, and no matter what, that's just how it is. And they'd never done it before. They've got no faith in concept, no nothing. So they'd asked if they could do a 6-month trial period. I said I'd have to run it past directors, so I went to the car park and I phoned and I was like, right. Literally, they said we'll sign the paper today. Went into the car park, stood by my car, made a phone call. Got a phone call back saying, no, they're not going to do that. It's 12 month contract only. So I had to go back into them and say, no, sorry, they're saying no. And I was so embarrassed because
they
were
going to go for it, but then they was like, oh, can we just have a trial period sort of thing then?
They're like, we'll sign up to 6 months. And if we're happy at the 6 months, we'll go into 12.
Like that's
like, what the fuck's the problem with that?
You're still getting 6 months worth of money, right?
Yeah, well, 6 months worth of work, but also you're gaining the trust and the faith of a client, which obviously needs that
to work effectively as a team, right? You need a bit of flexibility from everyone else, right? Whether it's kind of like other departments, whether it's the higher ups, you need to, I guess, have that trust, especially when you're the arm of a business that is effectively bringing in the revenue.
Yeah. But the most frustrating thing about that was that so we aired frustrations about trial periods and stuff like that. The most frustrating thing was that we knew that the director of the business had brought in a new client on a 4-month trial, right? So
it's all right for him, but it's not okay for you.
Yeah, but because they weren't paying £420 a month, they were paying near enough £4,000 a month. Because they were paying £4,000 a month, it was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like swept under the rug and it was all right, and he probably knew his mate and his
missus
mirrors,
and
stuff like that. Yeah.
But so now, I'm now made the decision to leave there, and I'm now with creative folks, and I can tell you it's such a breath of fresh air. Everybody's like a genuine person. Everybody's lovely. The founder that works directly with every account is he's got this infectious personality. Like you can't dislike him. He's got so much passion for the industry. He's great, and that goes across the whole of the business when people come in.
Yeah, and I guess that's a part of a good culture, right? You know, the person's leading from the front, and it bleeds down to everyone else. Everyone else feels that same vibe.
Absolutely. yeah, so business is clearly built on passion, expertise, and trust, integrity. You know, all of those cliche words,
But they
they
actually
actually
mean
mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so creative folks are we're backed by so we're part of a wider group. I'll say that bit again. Hang on. So yeah, creative folks are a part of a wider group. There's an accountancy firm called Ballards owns creative folks along with another couple of companies. So yeah, it's nice to have the support from a technical aspect and also other aspects in business really to make it all succeed. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. And, having a good solid team around you, everyone knows what the same goal is, everyone's pushing forward to it.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like you definitely had to sort of kiss a few frogs to find the one, right?
Yeah.
But I think people say that all the time in terms of recruitment, but I think it definitely works around from a people's perspective as well, right? Because you've got to work in the right places, gel with those people, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like it's all part of a to and fro thing, like 100%. And so, what does now you're in a bit more of a leadership role? What does that kind of look like in the future for you?
Yeah, so hopefully, at the moment, at Creative Focus, so there was no sales function when I came into it. So my role is to basically take a free rein on the sales function, and create a function within the business that you can bring other people into. Plan is to build on that really, get it really, really solidly running, and then build a team around it.
Awesome. So before, I guess, with it, it's kind of like inbound inquiries and recommendations and things like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like actively processing those leads, getting on the case, following people up, closing those deals, things like that.
Well, that's actually probably the minority of the work. The majority of it is outreach.
Okay.
So businesses can't rely on growth through just inbound inquiries.
It's a very slow process.
It's a very slow process, and you might not ever get what you want. You got to if you want to grow, then you got to go out and get it. And so my role is very much outreach through various different mediums, setting up discovery calls, but with the right clients that want to grow. Because there's people out there that are happy and they don't want to grow anymore, which is absolutely fine.
I think that's a fundamental part about when finding the right person to sell to, right? Because if they don't want to grow, it's like you can't force someone to want to grow. That's it.
Yeah. And then putting together strategies alongside the team, making sure that the scope of work is completely correct, pricing accordingly, being able to be flexible on the pricing, and being able to be a salesperson really, rather than a guinea pig in a machine.
Yeah, you're just rather than just there to keep the sort of like like you say, a machine really, a conveyor belt almost of just churning through stuff, actually nurturing genuine relationships.
Yeah,
and
that's
things
literally
like
it. It's literally been before, like, okay, right, what's the problem? Okay, let's open the book and let's have a look and see what the answer is to that problem. Okay, that's the answer. Well, that's what the book says, so that's what the answer is. Like, it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you have to be flexible. And do you find that a lot of, obviously most roles have got problem solving in them, right? But do you find yourself as a salesman solving other people's problems for them? Is that part of the process?
Part
or at least coming up with the idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So at Creative Folks, our motto is ideas are everything. So, and there's no bad idea. So just get your idea on the table and let's talk about it and let's brainstorm around it. So it's not just me that's a problem solver. I very much open the door to a further problem solving conversation. If it was me that you wanted solving your problems, then that's probably not something that you want to pay for.
But you can felicitate the people who can solve that problem.
Absolutely, and just be the person that that introduces and builds that trust and faith with a client that you're dealing with the right people.
Yeah. And I think that's an important bit, right? It's building trust, especially in marketing as well. Marketing and sales very hand in hand, but it is building trust, right? It's literally like I'm getting to know you. I'm going to help you out. I'm not this big scary monster that's just going to ruin your business, right? Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely want to help you out here, sort of thing. So when it comes into like outreach and like nurturing leads and stuff like that, what's like your sort of like favorite tool in your tool belt that you use for like outreach?
I would say anybody that likes doing cold calling has got something wrong with them.
I was about to say cold calling is actually, it sparks something. It's an interesting topic
It's a
because
weird-
I've never have that scary subject. I think.
But with cold calling, it's all about the data that you're given.
Yeah.
I don't mind a cold call. I've got really into using LinkedIn, Sales Nav in particular,
Oh, yeah.
and just sending out like voice notes and video notes and stuff like that. And I've had so many people that have gone, do you know what? The only reason why I've come back to you is because you left me a voice note or a video note.
It shows a bit more personality,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Like, how do you like run us through really quickly, like how you would send like a video note, just so our audience at home can sort of get an understanding idea.
The
of how
actual
to
script
do
of
that.
it.
Well, maybe not a
Oh,
script.
that's a secret.
No, that's the secret sauce. That is. Maybe we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
But like, sort of just practical. Like, do you just whip out your phone and record it? Do you have a setup or anything like that?
Yeah, literally. So I used to go onto Sales Navigator and I'd find the particular contacts and the clients that I want to work with, and then I'd add them. And then, say for example, I was making 70 or 50 to 70 new connections a week, and each of those I would send them. It used to be a voice note, and I'd have a script for a voice note. Or it'd just be, I'd get my phone on LinkedIn, you press the little paperclip thing and it says attach a video, and then you just do a video and just make sure that it's not what's the word that I'm looking for?
Like too corporate, robotic.
No, like it's not just you've recorded something, you're sending it to
Oh,
everybody.
like a it's personable to someone. It like represents them and stuff.
Absolutely. And you know, the thing that I say is the same, but it's not without having a look at what the client's business is or the role of the particular person. Like, I'm trying to reach the right person to talk to because I believe that we can help them with the problems that they've got.
Yeah, you've identified a problem that they've got, and it's like, I want to help you with it. But it's as simple as that, right? It's just recording something in the moment. Like, maybe you prepared a little bit of a script and a bit of background research, but it's not like you have to like get the camera equipment out, get the light up, put the backdrop down. Like, it's literally just like natural. How you doing, John? You've got a problem, I can fix it. Like,
absolutely. And like, I'm nowhere near talented enough to take a video and then edit it to, say the same thing in 5 different locations and then add it all together.
And like pop up with all these fancy things going on.
Yeah, like fuck that.
You don't need that either. You generally don't need that. Like,
so I'm like very much in my car, we've got like a meeting pod at work, which has been renamed my office. It's not my office, just for the guys at Creative Folks. But
you put your little sign on there. Sign.
But yeah, just doing it there, and just getting something out really, because something's better than nothing. But the more I think, the more raw it is, the more real it is.
And I think that's what a lot of businesses are lacking on social media as well at the moment, and a lot of people who do outreach. Sometimes you get those like LinkedIn DMs and it'll just be like someone trying to sell you AI, and it's just like such a paragraph long message that they've just copy and pasted to 100%. Everyone.
But that works. That does what, automation in LinkedIn is something that absolutely shouldn't be discounted.
Really?
But only with in the right way.
Yeah. And I imagine that's an area that most people are trying. They experiment with, but they don't do it in the right way, and that's why it comes across as like it's not working.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why people come to us, because that's one of our services that we offer, and we're very good at it. But you've got to have a strategy around it.
And at the end of the day, if it's going out to someone like me who really isn't the audience, then that's the fundamental thing that they're getting wrong in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm receiving something that, why would I ever be interested in this? It's kind of like
totally.
That's their first
it's just
mistake.
A total waste of time, and time is money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So if that's sort of like, would you say that the outreach is at the start of your like sales journey? What's sort of like the next step after you've done your outreach then? What sort of like, so you've reached out to someone and someone's been like, replied to you and responded. What sort of, what's the theory behind the next few steps?
Yeah, so it's a very simple process really. So my steps are outreach, and then my goal of the outreach is to have a really nice conversation with the prospect and book them in for a face-to-face bit of a Q&A and learning.
Chat about their business, right?
Chat about their business, but also learn about them as well. And to do that, it's either an in-person thing or virtually. It's all down to preference, and selfishly, it's down to time, because the more you do it, the more you book in, so you can't go around and see everybody. Just
on the virtual and in-person thing, do you find that you're more successful with the in-person things than you would the virtual ones?
It depends what stage of the process you're at. Yeah.
Because I love doing in-person things. Like if I could do everyone in person, I definitely would, because you get to see them, right? You get to actually understand them. I tend to always have a laugh with people more in person as well than
totally,
over the
100%. And it's especially post-COVID, it's so nice to do things in person, but physically you can't do your job properly if everything's in person.
It's just
because you're never going to get your time to do your outreach. You never, if you're having to travel 3 hours a day to get to somebody that's in like Bristol or whatever, that's a lot of time.
It's crazy to think how people only did face-to-face before things like video calling.
I know, right?
Like, what? How did that even happen? And that was only a few years ago.
Literally.
Like, crazy.
So we get to the a discovery call, and then from there we just basically ascertain what their objectives are at the moment. So I'm asking people what their 2026 objectives are and how we can support them reach those objectives.
Yeah.
And then put together a document which is essentially a proposal deck that goes through everything that we think would work for them. But also equally saying what wouldn't work for you. When the client is in a position to make a decision, they've got this document that shows them what would work and what wouldn't work in black and white. So if the decision is now, or if the decision has to come in a month, a week, whatever it might be, then they've got this document that's in black and white, and
they've got it, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got it. They don't have to waste any more time with anybody else going through the same bullshit, really.
They've got it ready.
Yeah.
Do you put together the proposals yourself, or is that like do you consult the team with that, or how does that normally play out?
So I put them together myself. Or I try to. So John is our founder at Creative Folks. He quite likes putting stuff together, especially when it's stuff that's like really, he's like super creative. So
when he gets his ideas.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I love putting together a proposal, really. I like just throwing the ideas around and being like, oh, you could actually do this and you could do that. Yeah. And sometimes you can get a bit carried away and have to think, okay, let's think, what is this business actually going to be capable of, and like bringing it back in as well.
But then the most important thing about the sales decks that I find is that previously it has been, particularly someone would say, oh yeah, the price will just be that. Yeah. And then you'd go and you'd put together a deck, and based on that, without actually consulting anybody that is going to be doing the work and anybody that's going to be anybody that could have any influence on what that price should be because of the hours that it's going to take. So there'd be a lot of unhappiness because of that, because it hadn't been scoped properly.
It was just like, this is the price, bang, do it for this sort of thing.
Yeah, literally. What's nice now is that so we'll get a project come in, I'll take it to the team and I'll say, we've got this, I need it to be priced correctly so that we're not going to lose money, and so the scope of it's correct, the client knows exactly what they're getting, and also we know exactly what we're delivering.
I think it's so important to set out those deliverables right, because if you're grey, hazy area on the deliverables, then no one knows what to expect, do they? No one knows what you're making. The client don't know what they're receiving. So it's so fundamental.
Precisely. And also equally at the point of close, if you close something off, it's okay, here you go, here's a folder, this is what I've been speaking to these guys about, and they're just like, oh, well, we don't know anything about them. So, okay, let us go and have a look and see what about them. Everything that's in that folder could be fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an expert. I'm not a website builder. I can do Google Ads, but I'm not an expert at it. The same as social media, same as SEO and whatever. Like SEO, I think is just dark art, to be honest.
I think it is a dark art.
but,
It's so technical sometimes.
Yeah, so I need the support of, and that's why it works so perfectly. Is that you trust your peers to give you the input that you need to then go and close something, to then give them the work which is going to better the business, better careers, and give everybody a real light at the end of the tunnel for greater good.
Working together. It's like bringing everything together, working as a team, and making sure that everyone's on the same page, I guess, isn't
definitely.
it? Like, so important.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And so finally, sort of coming to the end of that journey, what does the close look like for you? How do you sort of like slap down that contract, sign on the dotted line?
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street style.
Well, no, it's, you can't be in a sales role without being confident of asking for somebody's business. And you've got so far, the hardest part of it was picking up the phone in the first place. You've got this far, like we would often go to go into meetings, particularly meetings, and it would get to the point of close. I'd be writing down on a bit of paper, we could close this, and it just wouldn't happen. Why
do you think that was? What was the barriers? Like, generally speaking, rather than specifically?
Lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence.
Yeah. And also not being allowed to do it yourself.
Also, like you would want to close it, but then it's almost any.
Somebody else was handling the call.
Yeah.
So having that freedom now to handle the calls and to handle the process in its entirety means that the likelihood of closing is a lot higher, because I want to work with people. I don't want to give something to somebody and then go, all right, what now?
Yeah, you almost have to be like this, and this is what's going to happen next, and like what are the next steps, don't you? Rather than just pushing it forward and then like sitting there smiling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a case of being pushy. You go like, oh, go on, all right, okay. And if someone comes back at your price, it's not a case of going, oh okay, yeah, well, we'll do it for that, we'll discount it this, we'll do it for this, we'll do it for this. Like, present the value of it. And if prices really is a sticking point, just kind of take it away and have an adult discussion between your peers and see what we can do. And if we can't do it, then we can't do it. But if we can, then there's something that we should do to bring people on. So a close for me is very much a confidence, and it's not really a closing of a sale.
Yeah,
it is a closing of a personality.
Okay.
So are you confident that everything that I've told you up until now is the truth, based on what I've gone and done, what I've presented to you, the forecast that we've given you, and all of that, and everything is tied up in a line.
Yeah.
That there's nothing that you've got any questions about, because to me that's the most important thing. If I've gone away and gone, like you get young salespeople that go, oh yeah, we'll do this for you, we'll do that for you, we'll do this for you. Whereas actually you go, okay, well, what we're trying to achieve, this is what we're trying to achieve. I'll give you the same consistent story the whole way through, confident in my colleagues, confident in the business, confident in every ability to perform. Are you confident that I'm confident?
Yeah. It's almost like, have all your questions been answered, right? Like that's a good way to think of it as well. Like, you've answered all the questions, that they can't possibly have any more questions of doubt. Like, they're
absolutely
ready to go.
And there's all these things like a hard close and whatever. And for me, it's not about that. It's I'm almost selling myself as part of a wider product and service. So yeah.
No, that's brilliant. I think that's a really good way of putting it, because you're that first point of contact, right? And that's sort of where you're really the only person they're going to communicate with before they sign up, until they properly sign up. So it is all kind of relying on your personality, your face, the way you speak to people, and stuff
absolutely.
like that.
When early days, we always used to get told that the industry was disjointed and all of this, and I never really understood what that meant. But now, significantly further into being in a sales role in digital marketing, I can absolutely see that the industry is fucking cowboy. Like, there's so many people out there that will take money and not deliver anything, or not deliver what they promised. And very much it's right. The answer is yes. Okay, right. What do we do?
It's because it's so technical, I think, as well. It's almost like it's technical to the point that people just don't understand it, so they can get taken for a ride.
Yeah.
But then there's not the regulation, like something like accounting or like legal or something like that, where it's like regulated, where you can't be it. So you sit in this kind of like, there's bit of a Wild West area, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I always say to people is that I find myself apologising on behalf of the industry before even having a conversation about them and their business.
Yeah.
Because the reason why people talk to you, right, is because they've either had a bad experience, or they've never done this before. And most of the time it's because they've had a bad experience now, because pretty much everybody that you're trying to talk to has done marketing.
Right, yeah.
So a bad experience is something that you can turn into a positive, because one person's bad experience becomes another person's opportunity to build some really, really solid foundations with a client to put their faith back in humanity, to put their faith back in an industry that has got such a tarnished reputation.
And it's almost you want to prove yourself, right? Because it's like you're part of this industry as well. So I like love digital marketing, where it was a bit of a badge of honor. But yeah, when there are people that are being a bit of a cowboy and dragging it down, it's like you want to prove that that's not like us. Like we
absolutely.
are. Like, please don't have these full preconceptions for the rest of you, like your business. Or whatever.
Absolutely. And for two things on a personal level, like I've had a failed business, and I want to help people not have that same experience. It was the most terrible experience of my life. So using my own experience with that is something that's really important to me.
So thanks so much for sort of running through your process. I think it's going to help a lot of people out there. It's definitely helped me just to sort of understand physically how would you go about doing it. And I think to a lot of the people who maybe want to get into sales or are struggling into their own business, it is that confidence thing. And like by just having it plain as day described to them, hopefully that will give a little bit more confidence to go forward and actually go and start making some sales yourself.
Yeah, don't sell the product, don't sell the service. Have confidence in your ability as a human being, and the moment that you have that confidence that comes before anything, then you'll realise that actually that the sales of the product and the service is something that will just go with.
Yeah. Do you think that actually it is? Yeah, it's people buy people, right? People buy from 100%. People. So I guess it's like it doesn't matter what you're selling. They're buying from you because they probably like you at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like all this B2B stuff and B2C, like it's human to human.
H to H.
H to H. Yeah.
P to P, people to people.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that is a really, really good way of putting it, because you're never going to buy something off someone who you don't like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, even if you're at the checkout in Lidl and the cashier's sort of rude to you, you feel like putting all your shopping back and like never going again.
The first thing that you say to your missus when you walked out, you go, "Oh, she was a bit of a bitch, wasn't she?"
Yeah, literally. It's like, what were they doing? Like, what was their problem? Sort of thing.
Yeah, he got out of bed on the wrong side.
So yeah, it is so true. So thank you so much for running us through that.
All good.
But now we're getting to the exciting part of the podcast. Well, I find it's the exciting part. Normally my guests get a bit fearful at this point, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But this is what I call Ask the Expert. So effectively it's a little quiz that I'm going to do at the end of the podcast, where it's an opportunity for you to put your knowledge to the test, and I'll try and beat that knowledge from what I've learned sort of over the podcast. And basically it's a set of questions. I think it's like 20 questions. I think I might have done 20 questions, 10 questions each, powered by AI. And by that, I mean, I banged it into ChatGPT. I told it to give me some questions and it spat it back out of me, not checked them. So I don't know what these questions are. Well, I know what they're theming on. But basically, I've picked your special subject as sales and business. So we've got 20 questions, 10 each, on sales and business. We've got a minute each to basically, in the Chase Cash Builder style, answer as many questions as we can as possible. And we will see who's the expert.
Brilliant. This could go really, really wrong.
I mean, I've lost 90% of every one of these quizzes I've done, so you're in good standing.
Yeah. How many takes can we do of this, just in case?
Just one. You don't get any comes back from this. 1 minute I've got on the clock. Are you ready, Hugh?
Yeah.
Let's go. What does B2B stand for in sales?
Business to business.
Correct. What's the term for a customer who buys without needing much persuasion?
Easy.
Warm lead, but I'll give you it easy. What's the first stage of a typical sales funnel?
Brand awareness.
Correct. What sales approach is focused on understanding a customer's needs before offering a solution?
What was the question? Sorry.
Which sales approach focuses on understanding customers' needs before offering a solution?
Don't know.
Consultative selling. Never heard of it.
Never heard
What's
of it
a
either.
common term for a potential customer who hasn't yet been contacted?
A cold prospect.
Correct. What does CRM stand for?
Customer relationship manager.
Correct. What's the name of a short, persuasive pitch usually delivered in under a minute?
Speed pitch.
Elevator pitch. And that is time. But I think you did pretty well there. I think I was fumbling on some of the questions again, definitely.
Don't know it. Yeah.
Daniel Dennis try and read his own
Shows how much sales training that I have had. Ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I need to learn how to read.
I was struggling as well.
Right. Which key skill is most important when handling objections in a sales call?
Persuasiveness.
Active listening. What's the term for the total revenue a business earns from a customer over the entire relationship?
Potential revenue.
Customer lifetime value.
Oh, that was an easy one as well.
In sales, what does the acronym KPI stand for?
Key performance indicators.
What's the final step in a sales process?
Close.
What's the name for persuading a customer to switch to a more expensive product or service?
Cross-sell.
Or was upsell?
Oh, that was a good one as well. I think mine are easier than yours.
What's the goal of lead qualification?
To ensure that they convert or the right customer.
Determine if a prospect is a good fit to become a customer.
Half a point, maybe.
Half a point. Which sales technique involves getting a small yes before making the bigger ask?
I have no idea.
Foot in the door technique. There you go. Time up.
There we go.
Just
were
in
pretty
time
even
because
there, to be fair.
your Tinder's been going mental.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, my hinges can go flying. Because it definitely won't be my LinkedIn DMs at all. Not with that sales knowledge. We didn't calculate how many you got, to be fair. So let's do you first. So I think you got B2B.
Yeah.
You got warm lead. You got awareness. You didn't get consultative selling. You got cold lead, 4. You got CRM, 5. And then you didn't get elevator pitch.
No.
And then, so you got 5. I
think you got 5.
I didn't get the first one. I didn't get customer lifestyle. I got key performance indicator. Did I get close?
Yes.
Yeah, I got close. I can't even move my fingers. It's that cold.
I thought you were looking at your fingers to see.
Trying to read get them moving. I didn't get upsell. Good.
Or cross-sell.
I said cross-sell.
Cross-sell and upsell is different though. So
yeah, I think it's different. You've got to be hard on the points given.
Yeah.
Determine a proper is good fit for a customer. I think I got that one, surely.
Yeah, definitely.
3. I didn't get a foot in the door. So you won. You beat me. You're a confirmed expert in sales.
Yes.
How'd you feel, Hugh?
Fuck the training.
All you need is ChatGPT, and then you can be a
But that just
salesman
goes to show, though, that people can still have success without going and spending a shitload of money on sales training. Because
that's
like
it.
Elevate whatever it was, elevated sales or consultative. It's literally it's your human personality.
I think that, and like a lot of things, people can overcomplicate something and then use that to their advantage. I think people can be quite guilty of that in marketing as well. So thanks so much for coming on, sharing a little bit about your own life and what your sales process is. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there that are going to really benefit from that. I'm definitely going to benefit from it and use some of that in my own business. So thank you so much. And I hope that Ask the Expert wasn't too intimidating.
No, it's good fun.
and,
I've been looking forward to
time.
it. So yeah, no, thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Is there any one final statement you want to put out there to the audience, or a shout out or plug anything at all? Take this opportunity to do it now.
I work for a company called Creative Folks, and if you want to be bold and brave with your marketing in 2026 and beyond, then drop me a line.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Hugh. And as always, all of our guests, we're always on LinkedIn. We love taking the conversation on there. So follow me on LinkedIn. If you haven't already, follow Hugh as well. All of his information is going to be in the episode description, and we will love to take the conversation online. And as always, thanks so much for listening and sitting through listening to an hour of this. I don't know how you guys do it, but I'll see you in the next episode. See you later. Right, we did it. Well done. That was awesome.
Nice.
How did you find it?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah.
It's just a bit cold, wasn't it? That's the only